Now I'll show you how to crochet the fluffy wig for your doll. For this you need your mohair wool, your crochet hook, and a piece of different colored yarn. If you have round markers, that's of course even better, and you can use those. So take the end of your mohair yarn and pass them between the little and the ring finger once forward, then between the middle and index finger back again, over the index finger, and wrap once around the thumb. You can hold the end here with the ring and the middle finger. Now you go through this ring once, and then go under this thread, get the thread once, pull it through the ring so that you have a loop on the needle. Now get the thread again and pull it through the loop. This is your starting stitch, so to speak. Now you can take this ring off your thumb. And now we crochet 6 solid stitches into this ring. We dip into the ring from the top and get the thread. Now that you have 2 loops on the needle, get the thread again and pull it through both loops. This is the first solid stitch. Again, dip into the ring from above, get some thread, 2 loops on the needle, get the thread again and pull it through both loops, the second solid stitch. Again, dip again, get the thread again, through both loops, 3, repeat. Four, again. 5, 6, and now carefully pull the ring at the end of this thread. Sometimes it snags a little bit because of the wool. Pull really tight. And now wrap the thread again around the finger, just like I just showed you. Now we crochet 2 stitches in each stitch, so that at the end we have 12 stitches. And there is one special feature. Namely, before each stitch that we crochet, we have to pull the hairs that are attached to the thread so that we later have this fluffy effect. There is a small V that you have to pierce. I know it might be a little hard to see because there are so many hairs around it. So you just have 2 little threads parallel on the needle. Pick up the thread once and pass it through the first stitch. Now you have the 2 loops again. Get the thread again and pull it through. I pluck the hairs back, and now we go back into the same stitch we just went into. Get the thread again. Have 2 loops on the needle again. I pluck the hairs back and pull the thread through both of the loops. This is my second stitch going into one of the 6 stitches I'd already created. Now I'm on the second. That's where I go back in, pluck the hair in the back, get the thread, get the thread again, through both loops, 1 and again in the same stitch. And 2. And now I'm on the third one. 1, and into the same stitch again, and 2. The more thoroughly you pluck the hair back, the better your fluffy effect will be in the end. That is because you'll have more fluffy hair on the top of your head. So into the 4th we go. One and 2. Into the 5th. 1 and 2. Into the 6th. 1 and 2, and now finish crocheting my second round. That means now I have 12 stitches. Now I'm going to put my round marker here once so that I don't always have to count. Because from now on we'll do it this way, that in the next round we crochet 2 stitches only into every second stitch. Just like this. Into the first one goes 1. Now in the second, 2. Again on the same stitch. And 2. And in the third again only 1. And in the fourth, 2 again. Now do this until the end of the round. That means you always alternate between crocheting 1 or 2 stitches. And when you get to the end of the round, you just pull out your marker and put it back over the top for the next round. In this round, we only crochet 2 in every third stitch. That is, you'll crochet 2 normally, and then into the third, 2 solid stitches. And don't forget the plucking. And now here comes 2 stitches. And again in the same one. If you make a mistake or don't know whether you're on the second or third stitch, that's not the end of the world. You won't see it later on at all. The fact that it looks like this from the other side, and that there's hair everywhere, means that the small mistakes are easily forgiven. So you don't need to undo anything, just continue crocheting. Now when you've reached the end of the third round, crochet only 2 stitches in every fourth stitch. That is, we crochet off 3 stitches normally, and then double the stitch on the fourth. That's how it goes on from here. That is the principle, that you simply crochet off 1 more stitch every new round before you then double it off. We continue with this until the crown of the doll's head is more or less covered. So in the 5th round, we crochet off 4 stitches normally, and then crochet 2 stitches into the 5th stitch. In the 6th round, we crochet off 5 stitches normally, and then 2 stitches in the 6th stitch, and so on. Now I've finished crocheting my 10th round. That means that now I'm gonna try the wig on. For this, I pull out the thread a little bit here so that it doesn't slip away. And then I just place the wig on the doll's head once. Make sure that the crown of the head is covered. That is just the upper part of the head. The wig shouldn't go all the way around the head, because then it's too big. But rather it should end a little bit in front and above the back of the head. So basically like a little lid, like a kippa. And if the size you've created is about right for you, then you can continue crocheting in normal rounds. That is, you no longer increase stitches. Just crochet normally. You can also remove your round marker because you don't need them anymore. And you continue until the wig is completely crocheted. In between, of course, always check the fit and to see if it's not too wide or too tight. Now you can see if the wig fits well or if it's a bit too wide or too tight. If it's too tight, you might have to increase the size with a few stitches, just like we did in the beginning. If the wig is too loose on the head, then you have to start decreasing the stitches. And that's what I'm going to show you now. To decrease a stitch, you go into the next stitch with the needle, get the thread again and pull it through. And then immediately go into the next stitch again to get the thread. Now you have 3 loops on your needle. And now you get the thread again and pull it through all of the 3 loops at the same time. That is 1 stitch less. Now it depends on how much too wide your wig is. If there's only a little bit of wiggle room, I would now decrease 1 stitch every 10th stitch, and then try the wig on again. Then go from row to row to see if the wig has become sufficiently tighter. However, if the wig is much too wide, then you'd have to decrease by more stitches, so maybe every 5th or 6th stitch. And then you can see how it fits from row to row as you always keep on trying it on. In my case, I'll crochet about 3 more rows now. In the last 2 rows, I always take stitches off so that the wig sits really tightly on the head. That is, I crochet 1 row normally, and in the last 2 rows, I take off every 10th stitch to finish the wig. So now, I'll try to fit it on again. This time the wig fits really well. That is, I still have a little bit of room here behind the ears, and at the nape of the neck there are still 2 or 3 centimeters free. That means in my case I'm done with the wig now, and I can cut the thread here. That means I just pull it through here, through the loop, and tighten it. And I'll sew it in later when I sew the wig on, which is the next thing to do. Sew the wig onto the head.